Alabama getting set for their final big recruiting event before practice starts and football games kick off. It's the cold Summer Cookout. We're going to talk about the guest list, which has been released, and more right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Jalen Milroe, an excellent job on CBS This Morning. And Alabama basketball trying to close in on one of the top players in the entire country who just released his top 5 list. And guess what? Bama is still in that group. All that right here on the Bama Tailgate YouTube channel. Like and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Let's get this thing started with a big fat roll tide. Roll tide, roll.
Roll Tide, everybody.
Are you at the cookout?
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, Mick, awfully hot. Awfully hot. Got the grill going behind me. George, he's back there. He's taking care of the grilling. I'm overseeing things, but it's been a great day here. We're getting ready. But I think I'm a day early, but we're still having a great time.
The cold Summer Cookout. Well, cold summer. I don't even get that. Like, is that because it's hot? Maybe it's just because.
It's I don't know. It's definitely doing better than that Hugh Freeze guy down there in Auburn with his cookout.
Right. A freeze cookout.
Yeah.
And a cold cookout. Well, look, good to see you, Brett Elmore. I'm Mick Gillespie, guys.
When will
Thanks
the
for hanging out
burgers
with
be
us.
done?
What are you doing? Are you doing hot dogs? Or are you doing burgers right now?
Right now, we're just getting ready, getting everything ready to go.
Just kind of throwing it out there.
I want mine medium well.
It's that time of year, man, for all that stuff.
Yeah. Got to have a good cookout.
All right. Shout out to all the recruiting services have been covering this and talking about this guest list. 24/7 Sports, they're great. On3, they're great too. But we're here to talk about the guys that are going to be there. We mentioned yesterday that Akylin Dear is going to be there. I think he could be the next Alabama commit, running back out of Mississippi. But you look at the guest list that are going to be there, and I guess it starts with you got to have your quarterback, right? Keelon Russell will be there, the guy from Texas, 5-star QB now, according to On3, which is pretty cool. But Ty Haywood, Caleb Cunningham, Dijon Lee. So all your 5 stars going to be at the cookout. We talked about Dear, who's not committed yet. He was Ole Miss and then out. And now he's, an agent. But when you start going down the list of these guys, a lot of Alabama's top recruits are going to be there. And now I would say top commits.
Yeah, a lot of the guys who've already committed. I don't know. This is probably it's probably the final event of the summer, and look, they'll have a good time. They'll eat some great food. We got kids that are projected 2027 going to be there. I mean, that's how far ahead these guys are working and working hard. For this cookout this weekend, and I'm telling you, just like I did yesterday, I'm telling you, I think we'll get a commitment out of Akylin Dear this weekend.
You think so? You feel it coming? Barack Willis, you mentioned him, 2027 from Moody High School in Alabama, linebacker is going to be there, so be fun. A lot of schools do stuff this last kind of weekend before they get really locked in on playing football. And then, the last event before practice starts. And this 24 recruiting class for Alabama is kind of, it's right on the verge of being completed, and if you're right and they get Akylin Dear, maybe this weekend, maybe sometime soon. that would just be one more feather in their hat. They've done an excellent job. And when people ask me, hey, what do you think about Alabama recruiting? And I talk to people about this all the time. The one thing that stands out is the fact that it really hasn't taken a step back, and that's surprising. And in some ways, in some areas, maybe I guess you really can't say it's better, but it's not worse, and it's at the top, and that's what matters.
Yeah. And if we could get another commitment over the weekend, and I think we will. What?
Are those dogs ready?
That's what I'm looking at. I'm not. George, get to work. Jeez, standing around, man. Everybody's been standing still since I started. Do you think they'll take the boat out this weekend?
I don't know. I mean, maybe it depends on what the weather is, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that they haven't changed. They still do a little boating, and it'll be a big weekend, man. Looking forward to seeing the outcome. Of course, like we mentioned yesterday, Caleb Cunningham backing out of this trip to Auburn. He heard we had better food at Alabama, and have more fun and win more ball games. The list goes on and on and on.
Put more receivers in the NFL.
Right, exactly. That's what he said.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully Alabama will have some results. What's great, though, is that this coaching staff has done an awesome job of connecting with these players.
Sure.
You keep hearing that, not just Akylen Dear, but all the position coaches as well. Jamarcus Shepard is a guy that, would love to talk to at some point and kind of get his opinion on things. But he's someone that you hear him, Coach Cap. I mean, this group has done an excellent job of recruiting and also of, being able to connect with players and their families. So this is the last time they'll be able to do that. All right. How about connecting with an audience? Jalen Milroe proving that he is a great representation of Alabama, the University of Alabama. He was on CBS This Morning, which was really yesterday. And we watched it, and man, he did a great job. It was fantastic.
Yeah, they gave him about 4 minutes, and he made the most of it. And he was also on one of the ESPN shows. I think, what is it? Get Up, I think.
Oh yeah.
But no, very well spoken. Talked about the experience of transitioning from Nick Saban to Akylin Dear. Talked a little NIL. The NIL deal is I was reading yesterday where Ohio State spent either $20 or $25 million on NIL deals this past cycle, I guess. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, I talked a little bit about that, but he was talking about several different things and represented the university very well. Yeah,
no doubt. And he's done a lot of media, and he's done a lot of different stuff because of the fact that he, there is an NIL, rule now where these guys can go out and do stuff, not just the mullet toss where we met him at the Floribama, but all across the country. I mean, he might pop up baseball game, take BP, meet people and stuff. I mean, it's a different world when you talk about recruiting now. And I talking about recruiting, I read a report that Ohio State spent between $20 and $25 million on their recruiting class. And I think there were a lot of people that had a problem with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's ridiculous. I mean, but that's the world we live in now. So better get used to it. I mean, that's the world we live in. Yeah, it really is. College sports have got to do something to regulate this. I mean, to me, that's just an unfair advantage. And I mean, how many years could they actually maintain that? But they haven't won a championship in a while, and they watched their arch rival beat them 3 straight years, I think. Right. So, yeah. And so, I mean, like they're all in, and, there's what are you going to do about it? Right.
Let's talk this 5-star.
I would hate to spend $20 or $25 million and lose.
Yeah, right. Well, I would love to see him lose. They'll clean house there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, you still at the cookout?
Yeah, that's my to-go plates back there.
I see it. 5-star shooting guard Jasper Johnson down to 5 schools. And he is, what did he put it out on this Sodia, right? He's down to 5 schools, and Alabama being one of them, Kentucky and Arkansas for him. But this is exciting. I mean, you're talking about this Alabama program that in basketball is able to recruit with the best of the best.
Yeah. And Kentucky just, I think, moved into a spot there. Kentucky, North Carolina, Arkansas, Louisville, and Alabama. But yeah, you're competing with some of these guys. He's from, I think he's from Missouri, but he's transferring down to Atlanta to play for an academy there for his senior season. But that's some news out of the basketball front, and also out of the basketball front here in the state of Alabama, the reigning Mr. Basketball, Caleb Holt, is leaving Buckhorn to play in Georgia. Of course, Alabama's after him, and the 6A Player of the Year averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds a game. Everyone's after him. Alabama, Auburn, Cincinnati, Georgia, Houston. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And I don't know when he will announce. I wanted to say that he may announce fairly soon. I know that Jasper Johnson is going to announce in late August.
Yeah, be interesting. I mean, Oats has a reputation of pulling in these guys and making some big moves. So good for him, and good for Alabama basketball. And also, guys, I want to tell you about something special that's going on right now that we got for you. And I'm going to throw it up here. I promised you that we were going to change our deal, right? With the promo code at New Life Art, Brett, you're included in this.
Yeah.
Use the promo code Bama Tailgate, and when you buy a calendar with our promo code, Nick Saban. When Nick Saban's on the calendar, tribute to him, Daniel Moore actually really signs the calendar.
Wow.
So that signature on the side of it is really his signature. So we're going to do this for 2 weeks, and you guys need to take advantage of it. I've got one from a couple of years ago that they sent me as a Christmas present. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, he's the best sports artist ever. And, and just to get that signature on there, it really makes it a keepsake. I mean, a forever keepsake. So, and that you can see that signature that's on the side, that's actually his signature. I mean, with his own hand. So just know that that's what our deal is right now. And you can get that at newlifeart.com using the promo code Bama Tailgate. Bama Tailgate. All right, guys, our show is always presented by the great people at Pearl River Resort over in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Go over there, put some money down on the sports book, and wager legally like they do in Vegas. If you put down $50, you can play Dancing Rabbit Golf Course, which is the Augusta that you can play for only $40. Table games and slots with 2 great casinos. So much fun. Golfing, fantastic. The water park, Geyser Falls, fantastic. There's a spa out there as well. And it's a short trip. And it's a great getaway from home without having to go all the way to Las Vegas. All right, when we come back, Brett, it is going to be time for you to take over the show. And so I don't know, you staying at the cookout or are you leaving?
I may leave. It's getting rather warm out here, and they haven't brought me a single cheeseburger.
resort. They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
I had to take my to-go boxes and ice and get out of there. No cheeseburgers, no Big Elmo. Today's the 26th day of July. Welcome in, everybody. Let's see what happened this day in history. We got some celebrity birthdays, some really good ones. Mick Jagger is 81 today.
Whoa, man. The guy's 81 and he's still out there jamming?
Yes.
That's insane, man. God,
Yes.
That's so old for a guy that like is on tour rocking and rolling. He had the heart thing a few years ago and then kind of came back and doing his thing still.
Kevin Spacey, 65.
Okay.
Sandra Bullock, 60.
Sandra Bullock. Okay.
Yeah, you know Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
She's
Who was she
amazing.
married to? Somebody famous.
I don't know. They're all of these famous people are married to other famous people. Kate Beckinsale, she's in The Aviator at Pearl Harbor. She's 50 today.
This is an A list of birthdays.
Yeah, A-list celebrities. If you're looking for something to celebrate today is Aunts and Uncles Day.
I've had some great aunts and uncles. Aunt Diane, she's the best. Still talk to her. Closest thing I've got to a mom. Aunt D, and then uncle, the late great Uncle Bruce, her husband that passed away right after Bama won their last championship. We ate at the Metro Diner before the game, like the day of the game, and then and that's the only one I've ever been there when Alabama won, and I was in Tuscaloosa for it, for the celebration and everything. And I always wanted to do that, so that was cool. And Uncle Bruce was awesome. Lost him 2 weeks later. Uncle John, who we prayed for a couple of months ago, he's doing better. Great, he was fantastic. Uncle Sonny, yeah, man, I love my aunts and uncles.
I'm known as Uncle Brett. I've got 2 nephews and 2 great nephews. So Uncle Brett is here, and I love my nephews and great nephews dearly. So, and I've got an uncle named Bebo.
Uncle Bebo.
Yeah, Uncle Bebo. I don't know where Uncle Bebo is right now. I need to probably go look him up and see where he's at. I've always had to chase down Uncle Bebo to make sure he's all right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't know what he looks like, but he sounds like somebody that would have like a stick with a bag attached to the end of it, walking down the train tracks.
You're relatively close. I will say this. One time I was sitting at an establishment and I was looking at the Just Busted paper, and the waitress behind me, she was peeking over my shoulder looking too, and she was like, "Wow, look at that guy right there!" And I said, "Wait a minute, that's my uncle,
Uncle Bebo."
Yeah, it was him. And he was looking all wild and crazy, and I don't know what he got thrown in there for. But
we all have relatives like that.
Oh, that's great. 1952, Mickey Mantle hits his first grand slam.
Never can talk enough about Mickey Mantle. His baseball cards right now are really hot. If you go and buy any of the Mickey Mantle cards, the value is just doing nothing but going up. And I don't know why. Like, what happened between, last year and this year, 10 years ago and this year? And he's been gone for a long time and he hasn't played in forever, but I guess it's that his name's Mick.
It must be.
Still popular though.
Yeah. Speaking of Mick, Mickey's Monkey is released by Smokey and the Robinsons. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles this day, 1963. Very popular song.
Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Okay.
John Lennon and Paul McCartney complete Hey Jude this day in 1968.
There's a song about Julian Lennon, John Lennon's son. A great song. And I got to tell you, man, I've seen different people cover it. Didn't the Boyz II Men cover it a little bit at the concert we were at?
Yeah, it seemed like they did.
And then I've seen Dead and Company cover it before. Like that's a really popular Beatles song. I think a lot of artists enjoy playing that. Yeah.
Let's see. 1981, New York Mayor Ed Koch is given the Heimlich maneuver in a Chinese restaurant.
That'd be embarrassing, but he survived, right?
Yeah, he did.
You know, who would ever want that to happen? Like you choke on your food. You know, I'm a dad, and I'm constantly telling Jake, don't jump while you're eating. Don't swing around while you're eating. Keep your head still and eat. Because kids don't really know how dangerous that is. I mean, you get something caught in your throat, and you could die fast because you can't breathe.
That's right. Two more things here. 1991. We were talking about this guy off the air. Pee Wee Herman is arrested after exposing his Pee Wee in a Florida theater. It's my Pee Wee!
That's Brett's favorite show from the 80s.
I loved Pee Wee. I loved the movie.
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are. And tell him Large Marge sent you.
There's a lot of people that are going, I don't even know what these guys are talking about.
Right, yeah.
We have our own language, though, at this point.
Yeah. And finally, a very sad day in history. 2016, psychic Miss Cleo passed away at 53.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if she knew it was coming.
I don't know. Obviously, she didn't. But that was one of those things. If you grew up in the 90s and you was flipping through the channels late at night, you'd see her and she'd say, call me now for your free reading. And I was like, oh, God, it's Miss Cleo again.
Did you call her?
Nah, I wanted to.
Would you want to know what your reading is, though?
No.
And if somebody could really read, like really tell you what's going, like your future is, I can tell you this: you're going to die.
Yeah. I mean, I could. I could.
Anybody watching? No, you're going to die. I don't know when it's going to be, but
I don't know. But hold it. You're going to die at some point. I lost the vision. You I see people that they're speaking to. Do you have any relatives that died in the past 10 years? Uncle Bob. Yeah, that's him. That's what they do. I mean,
yeah, right. I'm with you on that. That's
1-900 Big Elmo, only at $2.99 a minute. I'll read you. That's the look at this day in history.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. Have a fantastic Friday. And give it to him, Brett. Give it to him.
Roll Tide.